the role of coach. Now that you're experts in coaching, how many of you feel like you're experts in coaching? Yeah, cool, cool. I know that those that aren't raising their hand are just lacking confidence. So we're going to all play the role of coach right now. And for this, I'm going to need another volunteer. If you wouldn't mind coming over here again, Sue. Thank you. So Sue, what role do you want to play? You're going to be my employee. I'm going to coach you. Do you have a specific role that you want to play? I know that you're currently an independent contract. What kind of work do you do?
Training development.
Okay, training and development. And so let's say that one of the skills that you want to work on is, let's just say finding a job. Okay, that's easy enough, right? One of the things that you're working on is finding a job, and I'm your coach and I'm helping develop you. I'm an outplacement guy, okay, something like that. So that's what I do, is I coach people to help find positions. And so we'll just talk about what you've been doing over the last week in terms of finding a position. The magic of this training room, you're seeing into my office. Okay? My first time. I'm going to follow my model. Sue, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Terry.
I know that you've been looking for a job over the last couple of weeks. How has it been going?
It's been going all right.
Yeah? What has been going well? What have you done that has worked well for you?
I've prepared pretty carefully. Spent a lot of time preparing for the phone calls. I've been having some phone interviews.
Okay.
And I've used the information that you gave me last time, the questions and whatnot. Gone through my resume and thought and looked at their job posting and tried to match up pieces that.
So you didn't actually get out to any places?
It's been phone interviews so far.
Okay, so one of the things that I thought we talked about was you getting out to more places. Have you even tried that at all?
It's been difficult because of the fact that it's the
Well, it's a difficult environment. I mean, I understand that, but you need to actually maybe even go and pounding on their doors. Have you tried that?
No, I haven't tried pounding.
Well, I think what you should. Okay, so sorry. So let me suggest that you go out actively and actually get out on site and see if you can nab even a security guard. That might help out. What other things have you done that have seemed to have worked well for you?
I've sent out a lot of resumes and made some phone calls to people. I've tried to target people that I really know have a connection with.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Are they employed too, or?
Yeah, an organization.
Okay, good. I mean, I was just checking. I was just making sure because I didn't want you like wasting your time, because oftentimes what I see lately are people just in mass throwing out crap, frankly, and just up on nobody's doorstep. So I think let me just quickly summarize, because I've got a meeting coming up. If you were to send out fewer resumes and actually get on site and see if you can nab somebody, I think you might have better luck. You want to try that?
Sure, I'll send my resume to all the security guards.
Okay, so let's hear. You all saw me coach, and it was my first time, and I'm a little nervous. Who would like to start my coaching conversation? You're coaching me now.
Okay, so Terry, how are you doing today?
Good.
I know that you've been trying to get better at coaching.
Yep.
So I was just wondering how you think you did with your conversation with Sue just now.
God, doesn't it bring goosebumps to you? This training, that never happens. It never happens. I got guys going, oh, boy, were you lousy! I got a list of things that you did lousy here. That's what I typically hear in this training. Many people hear the words. They hear the model like, well, gotta go through the model, gotta go through, yep, I understand that. It's so easy and so easy. But when given the chance, they screw it up. I got $1. I got more towels, okay? That was awesome, okay. So let me get back to the model here. Okay, so you asked me the question, so Terry, how do you think it went? It was tough. I thought it was going to be so easy because, it looks so easy what Terry did. But when I actually started doing it, I know that, I don't know, it just seemed like it was really hard. So now you know what kind of you know that I'm accurate, right? You know that I'm kind of, it's different than, holy smokes, did I tell her what to do? Then we've got a different conversation. Okay? And that's why we ask that first question. And that's why we keep it fairly open. Now she knows, okay, so Terry's kind of on board here and he knows he screwed up. Okay, so maybe he needs to get some reminders about the model or whatever else. So, thank you, I did that. Now, who would like to ask the next question?
Terry, I know you found it somewhat difficult, but what do you think went well during the conversation with Sue?
Okay, I'm going to run out of money here. Why do we give people, even when it's so obviously bad, why do we give people to focus on the strengths?
Resources.
Say again?
So they have enough resources to stay in the conversation.
Okay, yeah. Part of it is just to get the conversation flowing. The other part of it is buy-in, positive motivation. And now all of a sudden, what's your name?
Bob.
Bob is asking me about what worked well. And oh, by the way, it was so bad, but I don't care how bad it is. There's always something good about it. So, well, what went well? I guess the fact that we actually had this coaching conversation, I think, was an important part, and that I didn't throw up. I mean, I think that's a part of it. That was a big part of it. Now, what do? If you hear an accurate, was that accurate? Yes. What do you do when you hear an accurate self-assessment? I think just the fact that I actually met with Sue, I think that was probably a good thing, just scheduling the meeting. Who wants to volunteer now?
I agree with you.
I agree with you. Yes, there's another $1. Okay, who would like to ask the next question? What else went well? Who else? Okay, so this is en masse now. Now you guys are really contributing. Okay, what else went well? Well, the fact that we actually set up another meeting, I'm not sure she's going to attend, so I have to follow up with her. But the fact that we actually set up another meeting, I think, was important. What do you say? I agree with you. That's important. Always having this continuous conversation, setting up the next conversation is really important. Who'd like to ask the next question?
And what do you think you would have done differently?
What would you have done differently? Okay, so now here's where you're struggling to go, okay, out of the 28 things. Well, I think, first of all, what I would have done is, what I wouldn't have done, okay, what I would have changed is I probably would have interrupted her and started coming down her throat about, all these the security guards. That's right. She was actually doing the right things, and I tried to interject my own next steps on her, and I needed to let her talk a little bit more about what she was doing and what her next steps were, and that's where I think I lost her. Okay, what do you do? I agree. Yeah, it's important to let a person talk. Especially when she's, you want her to be independent and coming up with her own next steps. Yeah, that's critical. Next question? What else would you do differently? Okay, I think the other thing is I frankly would have followed the model. I think I would have prepared a little bit more and kind of come up with some questions that I think probably would have led her into a more productive, I know I lost her. And I know that if I had followed a more predictable process, something that had some questions would you ask? Get me to work a little bit harder, okay? Get me to think a little bit harder. Do I know what I'm talking about? Excellent, another $1. Okay?
So you just had this not so effective interaction with your employee, and now you've got to meet again in 2 weeks, and you talked earlier about how trust is so important in order to coach. How do you re-engage that trust?
Yeah, I would have gone up to her afterwards and said, I don't know what happened there, but I kind of screwed up. Can we do that over again? Because I think I've got some valuable insight and some guidance I could give you. But if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't have heard a word I said. And so can we do this again? And I just throw myself at the mercy of the court. Coaching the expert. So how did that feel as you were coaching me? Wasn't there a tendency to kind of let down the line? Don't you have like 18 other things that you want me to work on? We'll work on those over time. Okay? Trust me. You'll be with me for a long time. So work on the 2 most important. It doesn't preclude you from having 3. So in addition, Terry, to asking more questions, in addition, Terry, to being prepared, one of the things that I was thinking about is the relationship that you have with Susan. Do you think that's a strong relationship right now? No, I don't think it is. Well, what can you do to repair that relationship? Well, I think I should meet with her again. I think that's great. I think if you met with her before the next coaching meeting, just to kind of clear the ground, so you can have 3, you can have 1.